Welcome back to OTR. We have assembled our Sunday roundtable. We are joined this morning by Boston Globe columnist Adrienne Walker and Republican political analyst Jenny Buckingham. Great to have you with us, guys. Here we go.
So it's official. The Markey-Kennedy ad war is on. Ed Markey has an outside group paying for his nearly $1 million buy, painting him as pushing issues that matter before they were popular, while Joe Kennedy is paying for his own ad, claiming the status quo isn't going to do it, is just not going to do it anymore. Do these ads cancel each other? Jenny?
If I were the Markey campaign, I would take his ad down immediately, because what it does is reinforces Kennedy's message that the old isn't good enough anymore, that change needs to come, and Markey is the past, not the present. I think it's a harmful ad for him.
Adrienne?
I agree with Jenny, absolutely. And I also think they cancel each other out in the sense that they only recycle the same talking points these two campaigns have been making for months. But Kennedy's is a strong ad, and I think Markey's is pretty weak.
And also, this is his third ad, Joe Kennedy's third ad. Do you think that Markey's ads are coming in a little bit late, even if they are being done by an outside group?
So money speaks in politics, we all know that, and the consistent message that Kennedy has been able to send while we're all at home watching TV is pretty tough to overcome.
Yes, agreed. And I think it's a problem that Markey has so much money getting spent by outside groups. I mean, wasn't he opposed to that at some point?
Well, that seems to be the question for this campaign. At least that's the question that Joe Kennedy seems to be pushing.
The next topic is a similar one. In the western part of the state, a Bernie Sanders group is spending $300,000 on an attack ad against Congressman Richie Neal, the powerful Ways and Means chairman. So it comes at the same week that the Supreme Court took away a major campaign issue, President Trump's financial records, unlikely to be seen before Election Day. Perhaps it still remains as a major issue, but the records themselves won't be revealed before Election Day. So, Adrienne, let me start with you. Will this affect Congressman Neal's chances for re-election?
Well, first of all, I don't think the issue has evaporated just because of the Supreme Court ruling. This ruling means that the president is going to be under investigation from now on through the election. As for the ad itself, I don't think the ad is all that damaging to Congressman Neal, quite frankly.
Jenny, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's the Democrats shooting themselves in the foot, and I think they're shooting our state in the foot, because Congressman Neal is in a position to help us through this pandemic, make sure that we're at the table getting the kind of aid we need. I thought it was a pretty powerful ad. I thought it was crazy to put him in that position.
Let's look at the bigger picture. Will the Supreme Court decision bolster the president's chance for re-election? Has Joe Biden lost a critical issue in these final months? Adrienne, start with you.
No, I don't think Biden's lost an issue in his final months at all. Again, I think the president is under investigation and will remain so. I don't see how this really helps him.
Jenny?
I agree. And what if what they find is a big nothing burger like the Mueller report? That would have taken an issue off the table. Now they can speculate about what's in it to their heart's content.
The next issue I want to talk about is the I don't know what the right word is, tiff between Massachusetts and Maine, or the growing one, a little quarrel between Governor Baker and Maine's Governor Janet Mills. She's not letting Massachusetts residents into her state without quarantining, which prompted this reaction from a normally not to react in the public Governor Baker when the two spoke. Look.
I basically said I'll put my data in Massachusetts up against your data any day. We have a lot of really great places to vacation, and I would encourage everybody and anybody to pursue them.
So you heard him there, guys, encouraging people to vacation here in Massachusetts instead of going to Maine. Jenny, let me start with you. Is this as nasty as we'll ever see Governor Baker in public?
I practically expected him to draw out his calculator and aim it at the governor of Maine. And I would remind everyone of our history, which is Maine used to be a part of Massachusetts till we let them go and be their own state. So perhaps we want to roll back the clock on that one.
You know, Adrienne, it does stick out like a sore thumb that you can come to Maine from everywhere except Massachusetts in our quarantine for 2 weeks. It does stick out like a sore thumb.
It really does, and I find the reasoning pretty baffling given the numbers in Massachusetts. I mean, I'm not sure nasty is the first word that springs to mind, given the governor's pretty nerdy response, but it is interesting that he's telling people in Massachusetts to stay out of, as Jenny says, the former territory.
Turning to Beacon Hill, Baker's commissioner for the deaf and hard of hearing is on administrative leave now for admitting to colleagues that his college fraternity took part in racist and anti-Semitic skits. Here's the question. Is bad behavior 3 decades ago still relevant, or is bad behavior simply bad behavior, period? Jenny?
Well, there's a reason we tell our kids not to put anything on social media that they're going to regret in the future. I think there's just a great reckoning going on right now, and of course it depends what the content was, but I think it matters.
Adrian?
I think it matters too, and I'm baffled that so many people, even in college, I mean, they weren't 7 or 8 or 12, thought that this was a perfectly appropriate thing to do.